I'll call to order the St. Croix EMS Regular Commission meeting for Thursday, August 15th. Everybody get a chance to take a look at the minutes.
Yes.
Move to approve the minutes as presented.
I would like to second.
Motion and second to approve the minutes. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Financial report, looks like we are, 2 weeks away from the last time that we did a meeting, so we don't have any new financial report to really look over. So we might as well move on to update on transition of St. Croix EMS to Lakeview EMS. I just wanted to make a note. There was a couple of conversations that we had in the last public safety meeting. One regarding equipment. The procurement policy quoted by our attorney stated that they can work together with Lakeview on procuring some of the assets. So those two lawyers are talking together. Also, there's another community interested in some of our assets. Was it Glenwood City?
Glenwood City's interested, Baldwin's interested.
Gotcha. Got it. Have they been in direct contact with you, or has it just been, okay,
I got contacted initially from them, but I haven't heard anything
gotcha.
since that initial contact.
If memory serves, I think they reached out to the mayor,
Correct.
so I don't know where that ends. Let's see, so the other piece that we talked about were some of the space needs. Again, looking at the building being February, March at best timeline at Hudson Hospital.
I think that's still the case. Unfortunately, I'm not directly involved with the timeline, but the last I heard, it's right around that timeline.
Right. That's what we heard from Mr. Mueller at that public safety meeting.
Yeah. Roughly 6 months, starting in September.
Gotcha. So we are looking at space needs. I know that, again, in that case, our city attorney is working with Lakeview's attorney in terms of drafting some sort of agreement for space needs. Mm-hmm. It sounded like the intention of Mr. Mueller and Lakeview was to have 2 ambulances stationed downtown sometime after September 9th. As the transition date, which leads me into the next point. September 9th looks like it is still the date. I didn't get any sense that that was going to be delayed. Did you, Josh?
No.
Okay. And you've still been talking with John quite a bit, right, Josh?
Yep.
About transition pieces. Is there anything from your end on the transition?
No, the biggest thing that was discussed at public safety last week was just that, the tabling of the first responder idea until
After the first of the year?
After the first of the year, so.
Right.
There's still some stuff I have to do with North Hudson and the town of Hudson, but.
In terms of first responder programs
Correct.
for them? My understanding too from John Mueller was that he was still working towards trying to get to a first responder program area-wide.
Correct.
So, but you still, you're still talking with John Mueller every week, you said, in
Yep.
that meeting a couple times a week.
Yeah, multiple times a week we talk, so.
And what types of transition pieces?
It's mainly right now, we've been talking about, we had the Go for the Badger Marathon last week. So we worked together to make sure we got that covered. We got Pepperfest this weekend, so we're working together to get that covered. I talked with him yesterday, and Pepperfest is covered, so.
So is there, at Pepperfest, is there a presence by both St. Croix EMS and Lakeview at times? Or?
Yes, so I have, St. Croix EMS will cover Friday night, Lakeview is gonna cover Saturday, and St. Croix EMS will cover Sunday night. Or the Sunday stuff, so.
And when you say covered, it's a dedicated ambulance to that event?
Dedicated to their event, yes. So,
Any other questions about the transition, the process? Is there anything else that this body can help with at all in the transition or anything?
no, just talking with John to see what equipment he wants. So I can make, just so I know what he's looking for as far as a truck. I know he wants a truck and some equipment, so I'm working on trying to get pricing on those and
Gotcha.
see what fair market value is on them, so.
Thank you. Anything else on transition, guys?
Nothing that I can think of.
All right. Ambulance statistics.
Can we combine 5 and 6?
What's that?
Can we combine 5 and 6? Number 5 and
Yes,
6?
yes.
Combine 'em.
Ambulance statistics, operations supervisor report. I mean, it looked like we ended July fairly strong.
Yep. So total calls for July were 127 calls. 9 were fire calls. We had 1 transfer in there. And then 6 of them were transferred or canceled calls. Calls that we either got canceled on initially or we were en route and then canceled while we were en route. And then in your packet, the first colored sheet, I guess, is obviously our staffing from January through the end of July, so, and staying pretty steady. Keeping them filled. And then the next page is our breakout of calls by municipality and then our emergency medical dispatch calls, whether they're Alpha Bravo, Charlie Delta, and so on, so.
And the none in that, not all calls have a designation to them, is that correct?
Correct. Echo is like, it doesn't really fall into any of their parameters, so. A lot of it, none is request by law enforcement, because they won't do EMD for law enforcement requests, so. Or people that call for an ambulance and then hang up, obviously, so they can't do their questioning to get their stuff. And then I handed out our schedule from now until through September 9th.
Thank you for doing that, by the way. So you
Obviously-
normally start that on the 20th as a process for the next month?
Correct,
So,
and we opened it up, I don't know, a week or so ago, so
Thank you.
it's filled up pretty good. September 1st is an issue right now, but
Yeah, I see that.
still got plenty of time to get to that, so. Otherwise, just working with Lakeview and city attorney to try to get stuff figured out, and
The 24th looks, is that light or not?
'24th, we have it's good, but we have just need a medic.
Is the bottom 3 are EMTs?
EMTs, so we need a medic from noon to 06.
Got it.
Otherwise, the rest of the days look good.
28th looks really loaded. That's good.
Yep.
And then the 8th, going all the way to the 8th, we had a conversation about, there's a lot of people wanting to sign up on that last day.
Yeah, there's a lot of staff that want to work the last day, last 12 hours, last 24 hours into the morning, so.
Is there, how much are you staffing to, or have you been given direction at all?
The only direction I've been given is, obviously, I can only staff for the 3 ambulances that I have, so, but I'm not gonna deny anybody to come in and work the last day, so,
Right, right.
so. big deal for downstairs for us for the last day, so.
Right, right. Any other questions from you guys? Anything, any more details, Josh?
No, right now, just biggest thing is trying to get inventory finished and what we have equipment-wise, and then trying to find people to come in and do fair market value for us. So we have the one that was done a couple years ago by the independent person by Lakeview that came in and, or by the city that did, appraised our inventory and stuff, but both myself and John feel like those prices are way off, so.
Gotcha. So is that something that city council needs to approve or anything like that about having somebody come in, or is that just a normal process?
Just
Right.
normal process, it doesn't cost anything, so.
Right,
I just use all the vendors that I use, and they usually point me in the right direction to get the pricing on the trucks, so,
gotcha.
trucks and equipment, so.
And where are we on, you said inventory, you're still working on inventory?
Inventory's pretty much done, I'm just cleaning it up.
Oh,
The last time we did it, because obviously we got some new heart monitors in between there and then, and just getting the old stuff off the inventory and making sure all the new stuff is on there, so.
Okay, thank you. All right, future agenda items. Anything for future agenda?
Same as you got, I mean,
Same as we have, right?
and if they come up with anything for disbursement or how the sales and stuff are going.
Do we need to do any follow-up with what the attorneys are working on with equipment or anything, or is it just completely out of our hands?
I think it's just, it's between Health Partners attorneys and the city attorney right now, so I think they're hashing it out. Whether
Right.
we ever hear what comes of it, I don't know, so.
Right. I would agree with that. So the next meeting time and date, I'm wondering if it wouldn't make sense just to lay out 2 more meetings. The last one being sort of adjourning this commission, right? And that could happen on or after September 9th. But in terms of the next, in terms of the next one, we're looking at the week of the 26th, and actually I'm gone that week. Could we do early on the week of the 1st? 2nd is Labor Day, right?
Correct.
Right. And actually, I'm starting to double think, do we really need 2 meetings, do you think, or we just want to do one right before?
Well, now looking at that last week, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
Because if the 9th is-
again, it kind of goes back to my question to Josh too. Is this body, do you need this body directionally any help with the transition, or?
No, I think most of the transition and directions are either through public safety or through city council, so.
Right? Okay,
I think for consideration, I'll throw out maybe on the 5th. And that could be our last meeting, unless we determine at that time we
we should meet again, right, yeah,
I don't foresee anything else coming up that
right,
would have to come through here, so.
right.
Or even the 6th, I guess.
5th
What
works
do
for
you, what do you
me.
think, Stan?
The 5th works for me. 8 o'clock?
I could, maybe like around 8:30 would be.
That,
If something
whatever,
is-
my schedule's wide open, so
I have
Yeah,
a-
get to sleep in a little bit louder. Yeah, sure.
I have a 7 AM that's gonna run late, I know, so.
Oh, got it. Or would it be safer at 9 for you?
9 would work.
yeah,
Is 9 o'clock?
I'm good with that.
All right. So 9 o'clock, September 5th. Same agenda item. I will connect with Joanne after this meeting as well on adding that other piece, so. All right. Anything else?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
We stand adjourned. Thank you.